Howdy, Evan Gao, indie developer of Story Origin here. I recently had a great conversation with Richie Billing, who was a lawyer turned self-published author, and why he focuses on self-publishing rather than going to traditional publishers. He recently ran an experiment setting out to prove to other authors just how affordable it is to build your own audience as a self-published author. And he wanted to do it as affordably as possible. So the only thing that he paid for this experiment was his $10 subscription to Story Origin. He wrote a reader magnet, a short story that he then created a book cover for using an AI image generator called Wombo Dream, generated an ebook from that using a tool called Caliber, and then entered that reader magnet in cross promotions on Story Origin, newsletter swaps, and group promos, and built a mailing list of around 500 or 600 subscribers just from that one little test. He's got a lot of other great advice for authors, though, in terms of how to build their mailing list, and I've compiled some highlights from that conversation, so let's go ahead and jump right into it.
Probably been writing for about 5 or 6 years. Picked it up as something that I enjoyed in my spare time, completely fell in love with it, became a daily habit to the extent that I ended up quitting my job as a lawyer to have a go at writing full time. Then I ran out of money pretty soon, so I got like a part-time job running an Irish pub. It's accelerated quite a lot. I'm quite happy with what I've achieved. I've spent a lot of my time trying to help other writers overcome the challenges that I encountered as well, which a lot of people do, is like the same sort of challenges all throughout the career, especially if you're writing fantasy like what I do. Recently I've been toying with short stories in Story Origin. So I wrote a short story and I was really happy with it. Got loads of good feedback on it from beta readers and whatnot. So I've sent it out to a few publishers, got all the standard generic responses, haven't heard from most of the others. And I was like, what am I going to get from it in terms of building my career and my platform? So I decided to upload that story and go create it as a little sort of book, a short book, about 25 pages long, and put it on Story Origin and use it as a reader magnet. Submitted it to group promos, newsletter swaps, and did that last month. I think checking the stats before I was chatting to you, I've had 115 emails subscribers just with that one short story. So this is just an example of one of the reasons that I chose to start using Story Origin is to go directly to readers and cut out the need for publishers and the need for agents, because if you can build that up yourself, then why do you need to go down the traditional publishing route? At the moment now, because you can do things so quickly on Story Origin, I probably spend like less than an hour using it to get what I need, and that's probably like every 2 or 3 weeks. If I was doing it manually, probably about at least 10-20 hours, because it's a lot of research, a lot of conversations with people, a lot of emails back and forth, a lot of manual organisation, setting things up yourself. Yeah, I don't even know the logistics of how you would do that. And that's one of the reasons, because I knew everyone was talking about, you do group promos, do newsletter swaps, and it's like, well, how? And then that's how I found Story Origin. I've used social media, and yeah, you can talk to people like one on one, but I don't think it's the same as email. Like, I have quite meaningful conversations with people over emails. It is still statistically the best way of engaging with people and selling books, because you build a relationship, a more personable relationship with your followers, as opposed to just having 10,000 followers on Instagram. So I think first of all you need to set up a mailing list or a way to gather emails. So always say MailChimp because it's usually it's free up to 2,000 email subscribers, and you can set up automations and stuff like that. Just set up a really simple stream of emails. So a welcome message, thank you for joining my mailing list. If you're giving someone like a free thing, give them that there, and then over subsequent emails just sort of reveal a bit more about you, and then ask questions and you might get responses. But once you've done that, then I'd head over to say Story Origin, set up your account, integrate your email list and stuff like that, so you start gathering emails really easily. If you've got a short story, create a book out of that, and you can just give that away, use it for group promos and newsletter swaps. Like I say, I got great results. The reason why I say setting up email automations and everything first is because if you haven't got any of that in place, that structure, then you're just missing opportunities. People just joining a list and just languishing there. You need to be engaged. I'm just a very organised person anyway, so I always think you need to have a good structure in place first, and just tweaking things as you go along. Nothing has to be perfect, but you don't want to be missing any opportunities. With marketing, everything is an experiment. Sometimes a certain formula works for certain people because like different tone of emails, the way the emails are presented. There's loads of myriad factors that can influence things, but that certain formula has just worked for that person. So we're just giving you suggestions, but it's up to you to experiment and not to be disheartened if something doesn't work, because it's you've got to keep trying different things until you find something that really does work for you. Sometimes I'll do like write-ups and I'll get some reviews and put the reviews in as well, like try and sell the book for the other authors as much as I can, and that does work in terms of getting more clicks for people. So, and not everyone does that. Some people just stick book cover in, so that's why you should invest in like a really attractive book cover. I was messing around with a free app called, I don't know if you saw it, it was like an AI generated image creator called Wombo Dream. Loads of people were messing around with it like a month ago, and they were getting some pretty cool looking fantasy covers. So I ended up using that, going for like really vibrant colours to help it stand out. If you think about group promos, there could be like over 100 books in that, and all people really see to start off with is the cover of all these books. So you might try one cover, see how many it gets in a month, then try a different cover, see how many that gets in a month. And using these little experiments, then you think, well, if this is getting more email subscribers on Story Origin, what if I put this on Amazon or whatever bookseller that you use, and it might get more sales. So you can use the tests that you do on the Story Origin platform and apply it to other aspects of your marketing. The point of me doing this was to invest as little money as possible. The only investments in the whole process was the Story Origin subscription. Wombo Dream was the app I used to generate the cover. Just put some simple text over the top of it, and that was it. Use a free ebook creator tool called Calibra, and that was it. The point was to show authors you can do this on the cheap, as cheaply as possible, and all I've spent is what, $10. I've got 100 email subscribers, so there you go. That's the metrics there. You've just got to put yourself out there, and some people do unsubscribe when you send emails out because you don't like what you're reading, but you can't please everybody, and you just got to find your people. And one of the best ways to do that is using tools like Story Origin, which help you connect with other writers and reach readers without the need for things to be published by magazines and publishing houses. You can just do it all yourself, and it's empowering really, because one of the biggest issues people face is they go through the process of uploading a book, self-publishing a book on Amazon or whatever, which is really easy to do, and then they're sitting there like, well, no one's buying my book, no one's reading it, So what's the point in doing it? And that's why tools like Story Origin empower people.